Adrena, and tonight is Get It Right Wednesday nights. Every Wednesday night for the next 13 weeks, we're going live. Talk about how to get yourself right, how to get your mind right, how to get your body right, get your energy right. So we are dabbling here with some streaming technology. Pardon me while I look at the same time as stream, and I'll figure this out as always. But nonetheless, here we are. Hopefully I'm coming in loud and clear. Hopefully you get a good picture. Let me know. Give me some feedback, and we'll go from there. I have a friend of mine. I call him Coach Ryan. He's been a part of my life, wow, since, I don't know, like 4 years old, since kindergarten days, essentially. I think if you're the right age, WWF parties, we're going around beating each other up, among other things, of course, baseball, soccer, who knows what else is going on there. But what we are doing is we are in the game of helping people. He's in a mindset game. He is in helping people fix things, essentially. And he's done his own journey to get there, and he's got, so to speak, the street cred. And here I am. I got my doctorate. I got these different techniques, certifications, and whatnot. And what I'm doing, what we're doing here, is introducing you to things that you don't know about. Because much of this type of topic has been hidden from popular culture. These are methods and philosophies and concepts from foreign lands, so to speak, but they have provability, they have research, they have data, they have millions and millions of case studies, and the newer stuff is changing the way we look at the human body, look at the human mind and life. So with that being said, I want to turn you on to a couple concepts. I want to introduce Coach Ryan, and then we're going to dive right into some of the meat of one of the main things I'm sharing this year, 2022, 2023. It's called Center Point Meditation. Before we get to that, Coach Ryan, come on up, say hello. I want to check the stream on our channel.
Go for it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Kevin, for the introduction.
Well, here you are. I've been showing you these different technologies, techniques. You really haven't, so to speak, allowed me to be the doctor, but you let me show you things. You let me test you on things and demonstrate on you, and you're like, well, this is really neat stuff. That's my opinion. That's how I perceive things.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's somewhat of my opinion. My opinion, I mean, like you said, I've known you my whole life, and over recent years, you've cued me into the nuances of what you've been studying, what you're doing, your practice. And as you said, I'm not necessarily a patient. However, I am curious about the work you're doing, and there's a couple of methodologies and modalities that you had cued me into with the scan and with the center point healing that I'm super interested in. So I would love to get a greater big picture view of each of them.
Yeah, and then, that's an unfolding topic of understanding. However, there's a simple concept that I want you to start on. So we are nature. I know you agree with that, and I'm saying that for everyone out here. We are part of nature. We are affected by nature, the sun, the moon, the weather. Go out into the woods versus being in the center of the city. There's a different vibe, it's a different feel, and it affects us. Good or bad or indifferent, up and down. We all have our different flavors, we all have our different desires, we all have our different preferences. However, the fact is, we are nature. This is why EKGs work for the heart, EEGs work for the brain, MRIs, CAT scans, CT scans. All these things are measuring energy fields of the cells, of the molecules, of the organs and tissues, even the thought spectrum. That's why you're seeing those caps with all the plugs and wires coming out. They're measuring how the brain reacts to thoughts. Or if someone were to flash a picture of a snake in front of you, how would your brain react? Or a bunny, how would your brain react? Or perhaps we talk about a stressful story in your past, how does your brain react? These are all things that we call now getting triggered, or we get emotionally overwhelmed by things, or we just get down in the dumps, we get tired, we lose our energy. These are all signs that there's some type of stressor in our environment, whatever that is.
It's interesting, as you're mentioning things, obviously you're talking about the electromagnetic effect of all things.
Yeah.
You bring it up like, how did your brain react when, I show you a bunny? Well, it's amazing the power of influence in the world. You ask the question, my brain showed me a bunny. I already reacted to it. You know, I already reacted to the snake. I reacted to the bunny. I felt the stress from back then.
Right.
You know, relived the moment.
And especially if we get into it, you know, there's an exercise that I sat in on a Deepak Chopra seminar, and he walked us through very, very detailed opening an orange. So if you want to play along at home for a moment, imagine you have an orange in front of you. You can see the color, you can see the shape. Now if you zoom in a little bit with your eyes, you can see the dimples in it all. And you can even get a smell of that rind. But then imagine sticking your thumb in there and just pulling that rind open a little bit, and that fresh little juice squirts out, and that mist comes out, and you begin to smell it.
Get a little piece of rind on your thumb.
You get it in your thumb, and that kind of tastes bad. But the smell of the orange tastes really good. You smell the oils and all that, the turpentine, different terpenes, and all these different flavonoids and whatnot. So we smell these things, and it gets in our system, and it evokes. I don't know about you, but my mouth is watering right now, and it evokes and stimulates our brain to pull up the image, but also pulls up all these memories. It's automatic, and in preparation of digesting that food, my mouth is now watering simply by thinking of that. And Deepak Chopra had such a way of going into the description and getting us really into the feel of that experience. Everyone's mouth was watering. And then I've done ones where I had people think about a tiger chasing them, and the heart rate goes up, and their blood pressure's up, and they're sitting in the classroom. So we all know our mind can play on our body.
Well, and along this line, this is what essentially cued my interest in the AO scan, because I see it as a technology, as a technology, as a method of identifying something within the body that is out of sync, not in harmony, not functioning to an ideal effect.
Right.
And I firmly believe along the lines of the reason you're saying, like if we are operating on an electromagnetic wavelength, frequency, vibration, however you would imagine, picture, see it. If we're on this energetic plane, it is vital. You know, obviously we're interacting with all things. You know, we are all things, so we are existing in somewhat of a state of chaos because there's always elements going on. However, if you can identify certain things, you have a path, you have a blueprint to focus your attention on, to give you set goals, and just for me personally, it holds value because I don't have a very traditional viewpoint of our healthcare, medical and care industry.
Either way, whatever way we have, with information, we make better decisions.
So exactly. So my thought, what I was about to say is, I tend to avoid interactions with them.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because what my viewpoint is that these people are getting paid from outside influences, and they are incentivized to sell me things that I may or may not need.
Right.
And that parameter of chance is enough for me to be like, you know what? I'm going to wait till something's out of alignment, or I'm just going to work to keep things in alignment and avoid that scenario. This is my personal.
No, I do too.
And so ultimately, I'd rather not deal with what I feel is an engineered, scripted diagnosis. But however, my God, I'm a 40-some-year-old man. I need to know what's going on with my body, and that's an expensive habit if you're partaking in the natural health world. Whereas with this technology, the costs are, ideal for the data that you're receiving, the information, the pathway, the identification of specific target points that you need to bring attention to harmonize, to work. And so like I said, I don't even know it as much as you, but this is what cued my interest. What inspired me is like, oh wow, that's a way for me to bring attention to what needs to have attention, without interacting with these satanic.
Well, we'll be mindful with our words here, but let's bring in
people with letters after the
Well, let's bring in the crowd in on a conversation. What Ryan's talking about here is something I've shared with him about how do we collect information? How do we get information to make good decisions? You know, you get an injury, your arm hurts, you get an X-ray, it's broken, we know what to do. We set the bone, let it heal. Maybe there's some ways.
It's not always that obvious.
It's not always that obvious, but that's a simple story.
Right.
With information, we make decisions. So what Ryan's talking about is there's new waves of technology that far exceed the information gathering, the amount of data points to be collected, the speed at which it can be collected, where it can be collected, and the expense of that. And we can, I mean,
and the turnover to which you receive your own personal data and can make positive effect for your own self. It's not like you're waiting around for test results. It's not like you're waiting on somebody else's opinion.
So some of the biggest problems in healthcare is waiting around. You need action now. You needed action yesterday, actually, but you need action now.
Speed's imperative.
Speed's imperative. And next thing you know, you're waiting around for a couple weeks, going to that testing place and going to this testing place, getting this opinion, getting that opinion.
Getting nickel and dime the whole way through.
Getting nickel and dime the whole way through, and there's no answer. There's no practical application of something to do that's going to change you to feel better.
All too often, they end up solving a problem you don't have.
Getting unuseful or perhaps harmful at best.
I mean, I've been through these things, and I think a lot of other people, if they, thankfully, gratefully, if they haven't been through those things, they know somebody that has.
Well,
this is very common.
The biggest story I hear is I've been every place else. I've been to 15 doctors. I've been to 20 doctors. These many medications, and none of it's worked. Oh my God! How much time? How much energy? How much money has been in that endeavor to find some relief?
And I mean, it's not like I'm like so out of balance where I'm on death's door or anything, but I try to keep myself relatively healthy in this world that we live in. At the same time, you get into patterns of life where you're coloring outside the lines for probably too far of a period of time, and things can go out of alignment, and it helps to have a way to keep yourself in check.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of like, how does somebody know what to do, when to do it, and not just when to do it, but what's the right intervention to do it at that time?
Because it's not like I can stand in front of the mirror and be like, oh my God, my spleen. Man, I didn't even realize that. Maybe if I were more intuitive with my own cellular structure, I would pick up on certain nuances and pick out imbalances within my internal organs a bit more sensitively.
That does happen. It takes time and study and training and all that.
In my current state, and I think in the current state of the vast majority of the world today, that's not the case.
Right.
It's not the case. You end up going to an expert,
right.
Whereas, like I said, the experts have priced themselves. They've priced themselves out of my world in various ways. One, with their accuracy, and two, with their points of entry to even participate in their outrageous price points.
Right.
Literally, I'm excluded on several levels for various reasons.
Well, no, I'm aware of the game because as a provider, there's this weird dichotomy of wanting to deliver and having to live.
So
as
a person who has recovered from a severe brain trauma, I mean, from a severe medical injury, that has health limitations that should residuate for the rest of my life. I mean, I seem to have recovered fairly well. However, there's some things I should pay attention to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, again, when you started talking to me about this not too long ago, like it really clicked in my head. It's like, wow, this is like a type of technology I need to get my hands on. It's a tool that I should be making use of. It's an asset that can benefit me for time to come.
Yeah.
Where I will have a heads up what's going on internally. And then also a game plan, a blueprint, a strategy to execute for realignment. And ultimately harmony, realignment, that's what health is rooted in, and that's what we all seek.
That's right.
So this AO scan technology fascinates me on that level. And I believe in the modality because, like you said, when it all boils down to it, this is an electromagnetic universe. We are all resonating interchangeably. There is no vacuum where one of us exists and the other one doesn't.
Right.
We're all in this together, and we participate in this experience creation right now, today, in this moment, together.
And that's an important point. We affect our experience. So we could be going, we drive ourselves downward and we drive ourselves upward. And it has to do with our thoughts. But our thoughts are affected by our experiences. Our thoughts are affected by our body, by our food, by our work, by our relationships, our partners, everything.
One of the most important things I ever learned mentally is life is not what happens. Life is your reaction to what happens.
That's so true.
It's like
That
All
is
right,
so true.
there's a guy tonight, right? And he's gonna be standing 60 feet away from a man who's gonna be whipping a ball at him 100 miles an hour, and he's licking his chops. He can't wait. Now that would scare the hell out of me. I've never really bared down a 100-mile-an-hour fastball slinger on a regular basis. Not like these guys have today.
Right.
But these guys they can't wait for that fastball. They're gonna put it out of the park.
Right.
Why? They're ready. They and it's just because the same thing's happening either way. Either way, I could be in the box or they could be in the box. Except I'm not prepared. They're prepared, and I think that's what all life's about. And when with this technology, if you give yourself the ability to be prepared for something that perhaps isn't in sync in your body, you might not pick up on it. It might be something subtle.
Well, I gotta tell you, Ryan, that is only about a quarter of the important features of what this technology offers. See, the detection is critical. In fact, my God, you can talk to someone, they're running a couple of x-rays, MRIs, CT scans, doctor visits, and you're talking tens and tens of thousands of dollars in a handful of days of visits. That itself could pay for the lifetime of this technology.
On a visit or two.
On that one thing. So information and data from all your blood and all your physical body parts and even the energy body parts. So we're now classifying chakras, the aura, it's called the biofield, is now being considered part of our human anatomy, and it rightly is. And so as that goes, we're measuring those features as well. That's just the measurement side of things. There's also how do we retrain the body to be optimal? It's like reminding where an ideal is. And that's all of this tones, frequency, vibrational conversation of how each cell has a very unique signature and it can get out of its normal path because of toxins and stress and other things, injuries. And then it starts to operate out of its normal range. And that's what we call dis-ease or lack of normal function. And then, so what we're doing with this technology, it's helping retrain the body to reminding it where optimal is. And based on your body's own learning ability, it is helping recreate back to optimal. And this is reproducible. This is demonstratable.
So
brilliant.
You demonstrated the product on me. So what you're telling me is like when I'm sitting there and after I've gotten my results and I see points of focus and what needs attention, blah blah blah, and then it goes through this program that it's put together for me. It designs like a song or whatever, and you've had me listen to it. So you're saying those tonalities, the vibrations of the frequency coming off of that's essentially an instructional, disciplinary, or coaching system for at a cellular level that is keeping everything corralled along.
Well, what you're talking about
trout
is the inner voice component, and what that inner voice component does is it's finding out the emotional state that's contained in your voice print, and in that voice print, the emotion is revealed, and then because that emotion is associated with a nerve, a meridian, a group of organs, it is then measuring those organs. And then in stimulating that tone, that's going to help release the emotional stress and free you of emotional stress. It releases the pain, it releases the causing of the pattern. So not releasing the pain, so it's the cause of the pattern. And then
this is interesting technology. So I talk to this machine, it's picking up the nuances within my spirit.
It's like the dog,
and then it's integrating that on the blueprint, the layout of my resonance, of my body field.
The voice is a reflection of the body and the mind,
and it's designing its pattern of tonalities through the integration of that.
It's like reverse engineering your voice and going, well, your voice is showing say it's an A sharp. The A sharp tone is showing stress in it. We're going to find the tone that counteracts that stress and brings that A sharp tone back to its optimal place, giving you peace and anything in your body that's associated with that tone. And this is like anything, you can find this in the acupuncturist research, you can find this stuff as what connects to what, and the data, the research, the evidence is there.
Yeah.
So the beauty of it is we know it's effective, we know it works. It's about dealing with the piles and piles and piles of junk that we've eaten, we've thought about, we've visualized, we've listened to, and unwinding that, doing the work that's required. So yes, the vocal tones is part of that, Ryan, but there's still other features that help your body up its game, optimize. And
Sure.
It's like
Well,
any
no, what I'm
training.
saying though is when there's the earmuff things
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
when they're sending out those tonalities, that's actually scripting. You're sending a script into yourself.
That's a different one. That's a different part of it. This part is reminding you of the voice. And so, say for example, there's a memory of a painful event, and it will help bring that up and help clear the emotional stress with that. The part that you're talking about that helps the body remember, like imprinting the script, it's kind of like the concept of homeopathy. We introduce the instruction, the body then matches that instruction. It's like seeing into a wine glass.
It's kind of like you lead the body, show it the way, and the body's like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember that.
Sometimes the body needs instructions to complete something, and that instruction is contained in herbs, vitamins, minerals. They have informational medicine essentially.
And again, another thing, like, I've done this scan a couple of times, and the results have been semi-alarming on a couple of occasions, just because it pointed out some things that I needed to bring attention to, and I, ironically, I brought attention to those things, and I didn't follow it up with it scientifically per se, but when I brought attention to the things that were out of alignment, things got back in alignment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In one way or another. So I'm grateful for the technology on that level.
Now, for everyone watching and listening on about the technology, I dropped the link in the personal chat. It's drkeving.com. You see my website link. Go to the shop. It's AO Scan. You can look more details about it. There's infographics on there. There's links to the main website where you can look more deeply. But what Ryan's talking about is the real life impact that he experienced doing this technology.
And just personal benefit. Personal benefit from it. And ultimately, like I said, I'm sold on the technology. I'm going to be getting started myself because it provided a benefit, and it's worth exploring, as a maintenance factor to move forward. And also, if you're trying to optimize or trying to address certain things in your life, it's good to have, a foundation of like, okay, hey, these are some things I definitely need to take care of, while I'm taking care of whatever, your health, fitness, your, whatever, if you're training for a sport, whatever it is.
So everyone who's watching right now, or when you're watching in the future, send a message, go to the website, check it out. What I'll offer you though, and I'm working on putting onto the website right now, is you get a 72-hour trial and then you get the follow-up session with me to go over the results, because just getting the results yourself, and sometimes there's a learning curve to learn to interpret it. But with that being said, you get to try it out, you get to hear the voice component that we were just mentioning, but there's 3 other major features of what technology can do for you, and that's the walkthrough. There's videos, there's lots of information you can look at before, and you can try it before, or if you're in the Mount Laurel, New Jersey area, come on down next Wednesday, you can try it out in person. I'll have more of my tech ready so I can show you videos, I can show you images, but I had a computer glitch, everything blew up, so to speak, in space, and now I'm just getting my new laptop and up to speed with everything. And wanted, this is so important. Stress today is more prevalent than ever in our society. The last 2 years have changed the game completely, and people are at wit's end. I know I've been at different points of the end of the rope, but thankfully I have great professionals, great tools, technology in my arena that I can use and rely on. And other than that, I want the same for everybody, because as everybody else improves their peace of mind and gets better in their life, the world's a better place. The communities are better place. The homes are a better place.
And I think one of the things that, like you said, stress today, and the fact that matters, yesterday doesn't exist. It's in your mind. It's a memory at best, if it's accurate. I mean, mean, the accuracy of your memory, that could be argued. And so whatever happened that doesn't really exist. And what's happening tomorrow? You're imagining it, that's cool, you got some plans. Man plans, God laughs. That doesn't exist. The
Ryan's
only
talking
time
deep.
is right now.
He's talking
This
deep
is it.
metaphysics. He's talking deep metaphysics. It's truth.
We need to attend to our own being in this moment right now. Where you are standing at this moment right now. Do you like all the things in your world? Are you happy with your bank account? Are you happy with your body and your own personal spirit and your mental health and your physical health and your environmental health, your social health? Are these things in alignment? Because if they're not, again, attend to right now. You need to fix this moment. Fix this moment. You'll get to tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the truth.
This moment right here needs attention, and I think people get lost in these beautiful memories and they build these amazing plans. And this life right now that we exist in, there's work to be done for all of us. We can attend to our health right now, we can attend to our finances right now, we can attend to our life right now. And I think a lot of times in the shuffle of the chaos of the world, people get lost.
Well,
Worry about the news, worry about the president, worry about this and that.
the way of doing it,
Not worry about themselves.
It's not the way life has been going. The news cycle, the pace of life, how our cell phone time, our computer time, it's just not working anymore. People are crashing. People are coming to these points, and it's destroying. However, in chaos, this is a Chinese proverb. If you go, and I dare say that word right now, China, but if you go to
There's a lot of wisdom that comes out of that region of the
history of that region of the world, the same word that makes chaos is also part of the same characters that make opportunity. So in this time of chaos and change is an opportunity to reclaim yourself, get solid here, because when you're here in a better place, everything outside of you starts to get in a better place.
Hold on.
Period.
The only way for that to happen, though, for anybody, for me, myself, or you, is to lose the chaos and absorb yourself in your own self right now. Observe the chaos around you, but have the presence of mind, the scope of mind, the discipline to remain true to your own self and see this opportunity as it presents it to yourself. A lot of times opportunity comes in the form of misfortune, of work you didn't want or ask for, but opportunities are there, and sometimes, we get sidetracked by distractions, the world around us.
Well, one of the biggest things in my life was a quote, we've all heard it, Dr. Heal Thyself. And this is the self-knowing game. So what Ryan has been talking about, what we've been talking about, is how do you know yourself at the most intimate levels? So this is information at this quantum frequency level, and we're talking about different things that we haven't even discussed yet in our talk about how the body works, how the mind works, how the meridian system works, how the chakras work, and this technology. And there's some videos already out there. My God, there's so many things about this technology that I've given. We're start linking things. I'll start bringing the videos up and posting them. But there's information how to interpret what it gives you. We have the free trial. That free trial is a $44 or $47 opportunity. You get 72 hours on infinite scans of all your loved ones, and you get to basically get all that MRI blood work scan data this weekend in 3 days. You can collect that for all your family and save you thousands of dollars. Even if you don't buy it, you don't get it, you try it out and take advantage of that.
Also, like what I was just saying, the beauty of being able to put a 15-20 minute scan on yourself and know exactly what's going on right now.
Yeah.
How do I feel right now? Do I feel like I'm good enough to go, trek through the mountains, or should I probably be, attending to a serious issue going on inside?
And this also gives your existing health professionals, if people are going to use both, and I advise that actually. There's a right time for both systems, but you have to know what you're dealing with. But when you can give them data, you've been doing homework. These inflammation factors are up, and my kidney issue, my kidney numbers are up, and something with my left toe. Well, there's connections there, by the way, if you didn't know that. And now the medical doctor doesn't study those things, but can see the data. Oh, your factors are low here, your factors are high there. It's going to help make decisions. So whether you go the holistic route 100%, you're looking for functional muscle testers that do nutrition and toxins protocols, or you're looking to use chiropractic and acupuncture and medical practitioner for some different things, well, that's your choice. But information helps make everyone make a better decision, a better choice. And by all means, we can help bring the body into a better balance. So kind of like the idea of an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Like I am, Ryan, trying to make myself obsolete. The more people I can train, the more people I can give these tools to, it takes pressure off for me, gives them empowerment, gives them reliancy that they can find out what's going on. And there's a lot people can do at home. Yes, there's certain things you need to do, like work out, move your spine, learn to think in new ways. But there's a lot of patterns that we have to unlock that takes extra things to unlock. There wasn't all this Wi-Fi and cell phone and all this internet 100 years or 20 years ago. 100 years ago, humans would almost be, I don't want to say too much, but there's a negative impact of all this EMF coming at us. There's a negative impact.
Well, it is an environmental factor that stresses our body in various ways, and thus it's something that our cells must unite and overcome. I mean, we've given ourselves as a society, we've given ourselves this obstacle. So, I believe we're strong enough to overcome.
We are strong enough to overcome and adapt. But, however, we need tools, proper nutrition,
knowledge,
stress release, knowledge. The analogy I want to give is we invented radio, we invented television, we invented cell phones, we invented every invention of technology is like revving another 1,000 RPMs on the neutral car, and the exhaust in your garage is filling up fast. We need to get the system to purify. We need to get the system to purify. We got to open the windows, open the doors, turn on the fan. That's this technology plus other things that this technology will help point you to.
Well, it gives you the insight to make the moves you need to make, and it's what's got my interest the most, and I'm glad we've got this chance to go over it a little bit more in depth.
Yeah,
so I look forward to using experience and hopefully putting on a demonstration of what the product can do.
Yeah, we're gonna do some demonstrations real soon. I'll have some videos we'll post, and I'll drop as people comment different things. But other than that, this is a nice introduction. We're gonna be doing more of this with actual demonstrations. We'll have the video up and going. We can see data. Then we're going to do some physical techniques. I'll show people what neuroemotional techniques like. We'll show you the leaning technique. It's called center point meditation. These are things that you can learn to do for yourself at home, for your kids, for your partner. Somebody comes home with a bad day, and you can help them figure it out and get back to peace in a couple seconds. It's worth it. I don't know about you, but harmony at home is a good place.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm all about learning the best ways to optimize myself.
So take action, reach out, connect. You'll be happy that you do, and then we'll hook you up with how to get access to the demo. And then if you're really loving it, get access to it for yourself.
All right, get the product. You still have.
Any final thoughts, Coach?
It's a great time.
All right, thank you everybody for tuning in. See you next Wednesday.